Hello and welcome to the HouseRivalries Nations Cup. It is playoffs time. We're bringing you two quarterfinals. Today I am OmniToaster, joined by Paradox. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to say goodbye to some teams, but we're gonna get some going on through to the semi-finals. How are you doing today, Paradox?
I'm doing just fine, thank you. Got a week off this week, so I'm definitely looking forward to casting a whole bunch of Hearthstone matches in this new and exciting metagame. What about you, OmniToaster?
That's definitely one way of describing seeing Shaman in 75% of your games.
You have to be an optimist sometimes, don't you?
Yeah, I'll let you do that for now, and I'll just stay here. And the fact that we have to see that particular class a lot does mean that you're going to really experience me calling it Shaman and Shaman alternately over and over again. So I hope you're ready for that.
And because my pronunciation is extremely consistent on that matter, so I'll do it best for both of us.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just never say it again. Our first game today, we are going to be bringing you the London versus Lisbon quarterfinal, and we have we did have a couple of interesting decks. We had a Highlander Hunter on London, which has actually been banned out, and then the Shaman from Lisbon has been banned out, leaving us with a Quest Evolved Shaman, a Combo Priest, and a Chef Nomi Quest Druid on the side of Lisbon facing up. On the side of London, apologies, facing up against a Holy Wrath Paladin, a Quest Evolved Shaman, and a Combo Priest and a Malagos Druid on the side of Lisbon. There you go. I can read. Nobody can doubt that.
Yeah, I will not doubt that, my friend. The lineups are very intriguing, though I do notice something interesting. Is that since it's last year's standing, of course, once you win with a deck, you can keep on playing it, whereas when a deck loses, it is eliminated. Now, there's Holy Wrath Paladin, based on the matchup spread that London has available. Like you said, the Hunter has been banned. So they have the Chef Nomi version of Druid, the Resurrect Priest, and the Shaman. And traditionally, Holy Wrath Paladin has been fairly good against Quest Shaman, just because it's so slow to get going, and its damage is in incremental bursts. And this Resurrect Priest is sort of the same way, where it has a lot of big plays, but they happen on like turn 7 or 8, so the Holy Wrath Paladin has a lot of time to get going. So I think that if the Druid can be eliminated, and hypothetically speaking, the Priest just doesn't find Hakata Soul Flare for whatever reason,
otherwise,
this Paladin could just get a clean sweep going very quickly.
Yeah, and the Hakara is obviously an important thing there, though, because that can mess up the Paladin quite badly if it does end up going off, especially if it goes off a couple of times. Some of those bloods get drawn. It's probably just that matchup. Done. So that one will be an interesting one to watch. Other than that, we were talking just before we went live about just before we were originally going to go live, before we remembered that daylight savings has in fact happened, about the two Druid decks as well, which are pretty interesting given the current kind of Infinite Coon deck that has been going around. We see a Chef Nomi against a Malagos Druid. So, wondering if they just haven't had time since that kind of deck started being played to really get to grips with that Infinite. He's gone. My co-caster is gone.
I'm back.
He's back.
I'm
that
back.
was scary.
I'm alive. Yeah. No.
Anyway, game is here. Game is started. We're going to see London's Quest Evolve Shaman against Lisbon's Malagos Quest Druid.
This traditionally has been a fairly Druid-favored matchup, I'd say, as long as the Druid can survive past the early stages of the game. Like we see here, they do have the Oasis Surger and the Starfall, which are definitely more, more potent pieces once the quest has been completed.
Yeah, definitely. And with the coin as well, both of those are options that would be active on 5. So you playing Quest Coin on turn 1 does get you going towards it a little bit sooner. On the Shaman side, there is the Mogu there and ready to evolve into something like Ragnaros, you hope to see.
Yeah, or like Tyrion Forging, Octosari could be a good one too. Like, there's a lot of powerful 8-drops right now. That's why the Mogu Flesh Shaper Mutate combo has been so rampant across ladder lately. It's just good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And Nourish as well. That is again, if they survive the early game, lovely Quest Druid hand. You know, the two options on turn 5 for getting a little bit of board control back. You have the Starfall or the Oasis Surger, and then you have the Nourish on 6, which is, I mean, just the most powerful thing that deck does, really.
Traditionally, like as I said, the Druids has occasionally struggled with survivability just because you're having to play off curve every turn in order to complete your quest. But Quest Shaman is such a slow deck in the early stage when the Druid's trying to complete the quest that oftentimes you'll take like 7-8 damage, and then the quest is done, and then Oasis Surger and stuff will come in and just clean up the board afterwards. So I think the Mogu Flesh Shaper is going to be fairly impactful, again, if they can find that all-important way of evolving it in time.
Yeah, and obviously it does have double the ways to evolve it now with the most recent wild update, but yeah, especially with the Starfall, if they pick up a couple of Anubis Half Defense as well, it's just especially dangerous because you not only clear the board, but you're building your road. Crystal Merchant drawn on the turn, where it will draw you a card. Definitely would just
and
yeah, but
play it. You have no reason to hear about here. Like it's just the best play you could do this turn, really. Like, it's either that or it's like Wrath for 1. The only thing that's unfortunate is it does make Mogu Flesh Shaper a bit better on the opposing side, but the Shaman is going to wind up on board anyway. That I think Mogu Flesh Shaper is something that the Portuguese aren't really considering all that much on this particular turn. And coming down, drawing the card, 3 out of 4 on the quest.
pulls out the Arvo Crystal Merchant as well, which is that's a no evolve. So they could get the Flesh Shaper down, but obviously it then is just there as that 3/4 instead of an 8-drop. And let's be honest, that card is pretty much just an 8-drop.
Yeah, for Side Surfer right now, and they actually roll the Witchy Lackey. That would be so huge. Because Mogu would still cost 2 mana, so you can still hit it in and then play the Witchy Lackey afterwards to make it an 8-drop. Like, all on 4.
Yeah, and that would be insane. I guess they're just considering if they're going to do that or go for a cleaner way to mop up this merchant. They are going to, they got the Witchy. I'm going to... They can't.
Quite, as I say, it's not quite as good as Nefaria Lackey, but Nefaria Lackey can still get Mutate.
Yeah. That would have been... If it gets Mutate,
yeah.
If they played it before and it got evolved, that would have been even more disgusting. Guess a Haunted Vision is just another way to look for that spell that they're looking for.
Yeah. See, Mogu coming down, getting rid of that Crystal Merchant. Board is relatively full at this point. I'll be interested to see if they use a swipe, just the apprehension of the Mogu.
Yeah,
in fact, with Innovate, now you definitely do it.
Yeah, you don't risk that.
Yeah. Now you definitely go for the swipe there.
Yeah, it was going to be a question before that draw, but with that draw, it's without a doubt the best play there.
Yeah. And one of those cards that consistently hasn't been that useful post-quest for the Druid deck. You often just play it just so that if you go first, it's just a way of getting your quest completion on turn 1, but getting it used there means that not only is it helping you complete the quest and clear the board, it's also, you're not drawing it later on. So, from this Nourish, for example, you can get stuff like another Nourish, Illy, Cenarius, etc., pretty much.
Yeah, and at this point...
So I don't think they play Cenarius. Anyway, carry on.
The Shaman just hasn't done enough so far. The Druids really about to start peaking with their powerful stuff, and the Shaman hasn't been able to find any of theirs. It's only a couple of turns now before we can potentially see a big Coon turn. starting to look
So, I was gonna say,
little
this is sort of
scary.
what I was saying earlier on, right? Like, this quest shaman deck, it's good in the later stages of the game, which request is online, but your early game aggression, most of the time, is relatively non-existent.
Yeah, unless you get something steady like hair into Mogu into Evolve, then.
Yeah, of course.
But that's, every deck can high roll.
Indeed, they can. So they're just considering what they want to do this turn. Probably going to be just hero power into K-Barat, just trying to find those lackeys.
Yeah, this builds up more of a board. It takes out one of the 5/5s. Leaves that 5/3 to not even be able to kill the other Nourish. Just off the top. So they're going to be drawing into that, but they do have that extra ramp to turn off to guarantee. Obviously, hand size then becomes an issue. But the Crystal Merchant could just come down here as well. Wouldn't draw.
Yeah.
But it opens your hand up
This
for
turn,
the
of course, because they
Nourish
have
next
spent
turn.
all of their mana. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that the Merchant still comes down here. Like, you just want to contest the board while you're just cycling through your deck for this Chef Nomi finisher. If I actually no way, it's the Portuguese playing it, so they're playing the Malachus version, aren't they? So yeah, all the more reason then. Like, you get Merchant out of your hand, so Dream Petal Florist doesn't interfere with it later on. My apologies.
Yeah. And next turn they'd have 9 in hand if they don't play it, and Nourish gets a bit worse if they're going to be going for that ramp up into 10 mana. Yeah, comes down. Don't bother hitting in, just leaving yourself with a 5/1 and then with a 2/1. Pretty pointless at that point. See, we see there is another Wasp in hand, which will mop up the 5/3 pretty cleanly if that's what they want to go with.
Efficient to me. I think I'd rather just use the Sandstorm Elemental.
Yeah, I was literally about to say, you can just Sandstorm Elemental and your trades get pretty clean. And pretty simple. 2 more Ethereal Lackeys. That is a whole lot of spell generation in their hand.
You see the decision of Zap, Hex, Earthshock. Feel like Hex a bit more.
The Hex, but I can see the Earthshock argument as well. It does a similar role. Now you take a Hex, surely. Go for the other Haunting Visions, so 2 of them now.
You can cast Haunting Visions with Haunting Visions for 0 mana, so just makes sense. It's the most valuable pick in that situation. Let's see. And Oasis picked up. I don't think they'll go for that this turn. I think you'd rather just want to clear the board here. Question is with what? You can go Wardrobe Loti Starfall, and that would deal 3 AoE, and that would fully clear up the board.
You also...
Other option is that you go Oasis Surger Swipe. That does put a bit more power on the board, I suppose.
Yeah, and you can swipe after. Just go for the 2. They're going to open with the Oasis.
What they're going for,
swipe, yeah. But that does, just limit them to Moonfires for their face damage. Obviously,
I don't think they're too concerned about that.
No,
to be honest.
They're going to be doing Elise stuff. So they'll have multiple Gooses or multiple Moonfires, and should be just fine. Stormbringer as an option.
The question is, like, how wide can you go on the board without token generation? Ooh.
Well, they do still have 2 Desert Hairs to come with the
Yeah, I
hero
think it's
power.
Evolve then. Yeah, it's Evolve.
Because you have the double Desert Hair. Getting all of them does seem quite a lot more value than just having it for 0 mana.
Turn this wasp on the face, so do you have to burn 3 damage just to get through the Oasis Surgeon now? It looks like they are going to try to take out the board, knowing that they don't have the long-term reach, yeah. And obviously Evolve is pretty decent, it's the final mana. Yeah.
Because they can also evolve if they get something that they're not... mutate, sorry, if they get something that they're not overly happy with.
Fletcher, the 4 mana 3/3. Whenever you play a 1-cost minion, draw a spell from your deck. Unfortunately, you don't have any 1-cost minions anymore, they've already played all of their lackeys.
Yeah, that would have been pretty nasty against the with the amount of lackeys that they have in hand just before that. It could have been pretty solid. Coon into the Nourish, into the heal, and another taunt in the way, and suddenly the Druid has the board.
Lacking ways of dealing with that board state. It helps, but 2 damage with the Pyromancer procs isn't really going to be enough to get through this. That being said, the Druid doesn't have much of a follow-up, so if this board is dealt with, they don't really have much left to fall back on. Lightning Storm helps, yeah.
Yeah, Lightning Storm, if you get some guaranteed free onto everything, could do the 4 needed to finish off the Anubis Athlo. Just going to go over trade and put that down to 2. Another shock.
Let's see. I don't think you take Bloodlust here. I think you probably just go for the Overmight, because you still have another Sandstorm Elemental in your deck at this point. Let's see. So going for the Lightning Storm. They do roll low, unfortunately, on the Coon and the Anubis Defender.
They were always killing the Treant, which was fortunate.
And they low rolled on the Mutate as well. That is not a minion you want to be looking for.
Speaking of rolling low, that is an insanely low roll.
Let's
Goose is out as well now, so as soon as the Dream Petal comes out of the deck, this Loti currently the only thing that needs to get out of the way to ensure that it hits onto the Malagos.
You can play it this turn, to be fair. Ooh, Drew of the Claw isn't bad either.
Yeah, I don't hate playing...
damage through.
Oh, well, actually, I now do not like playing the Loti just because it opens you up to my control deck. But before that, it wasn't too bad.
London don't have enough mana to go for Desert Hare into Stormbringer. So they can go Sludge Surfer Lackey Stormbringer, but it looks like that's not what that plan is. Let's see, 2 lackeys, what are they gonna get? Rush Lackey, and I believe that's Witchy Lackey?
Yeah. And gets rid of that.
Let's see, what kind of job do they get? They
get
H of War.
These rolls, this is so sad.
Well, they are able to clear Drew of the Claw at least, but Coon is he's just putting in work, man. He's just, like, that's 7 more, they're at 7. Malagos Moonfire is 6.
Right? Unless they can
kill
that. They have to double Earthshock.
Yeah.
That hurts.
Yeah. So obviously, if Moonfire's drawn, the game's over, and Wrath is not Moonfire.
It is not.
They can Wrath the Ancient of War first to draw a card, and if they do get Moonfire, they still have lethal. So you can go 2 mana Wrath, so they're 8 mana, Innovate, Malagos, and then Moonfire costs 0, so yeah, that'd be 12 damage. Yeah. So I'd imagine they go for the Wrath first, regardless. There's not really anything you're specifically looking for to Wrath in this matchup. Especially not when you're sitting a Loti double Starfall, like single target removal is not something you're interested in. Yeah.
And especially when you look at the life total and you know it's going to be sticking fairly low and your Goose is in hand. You're going to be putting them down to 7 most likely. Yeah, it's going to clear. I think this is fine because even if they kill the Coon, the next turn you have the 7 damage on the Moonfire with the Malagos and with the
That is true, yeah. I think you still draw with the I think you still draw with the Wrath first anyway. Because like I said, there's nothing really you're interested in wrathing at this point. It just gives you an extra draw opportunity to get lethal. Because you can still go for the Starfall clear afterwards, it's still 10 mana. But it is a moot point. Coon just swept up. Did he deal like he dealt like 21 damage, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he hit him 3 times, which is insane. Like
yeah, not bad.
Yeah, Coon. Pretty good card. Pretty good card when he's guaranteed to always be doing both of his effects. Obviously, he did as well come down behind 2 taunts, which does help. You know, keep him alive and keep that 7 damage ticking in turn after turn. So if you're London, you've lost your Shaman, you have your combo priest and your Nomi Druid. Where are you going next, Paradox?
Next, that is a wonderful question. Let me take a look. So London at this point still have remaining the priest and the druid of their own left. So I'd imagine because like the Malagos OTK like gets through the giant N'Zoth wall that the priest deck is known for, that you're probably just gonna have to queue the mirror match.
Hear me out. Hakar does shuffle duplicates into your deck.
It problem is that again, you have to get to 10 mana, you have to play Hakar, and then you also have to hope that your opponent just doesn't overdraw Corrupted Blood, because then if they do, then your plan just falls apart.
Yeah, but it is a fun plan.
Yeah, we do see like London is just going to queue up the Druid mirror match. Especially, what's your stance on this matchup?
Personally, I just think that the Malagos deck is just a better deck. I think the Goose is too inconsistent. Sorry, the Nomi is.
Yeah. I was wondering about that. I would definitely say the Nomi deck is favored for sure. Yeah, because they get the extra armor, which means the whole Malagos Moonfire stuff. Like it has a damage limit, right? You can only have so many Moonfires compared to the amount of armor and healing that the Druid deck can provide.
Nomi is in fact a panda and not a goose, though. So I guess got my basic.
That is also true.
Yeah, I get those 2 animals mixed up quite consistently. Both of them, Crystal Merchants ready to go down.
White and black.
The Innovate Crystal Merchant, they could bring it down even a turn sooner. Got another Coon as well. That's actually huge for the armor.
So is the Innovate into the Crystal Merchant on the play. Because like I said in the last game, like Innovate oftentimes after turn 1 is usually not a very useful card. Except in like fringe scenarios where you need to like Coon on 9 just because you need the health that badly. But getting it here, just drawing that many more cards, especially when you're a combo deck trying to complete your combo as quickly as possible, is certainly huge.
And both of these Crystal Merchants is going to go unchecked until each player's turn 5, you have to assume at this point, because really looking at either of those hands, Oasis Surge is the only thing that's going to be doing anything to deal with it.
The Worthy Expedition on the other side can get Druid of the Scythe or War Druid Loti, both of which can just summon a 4-2 rush to get rid of the Crystal Merchant. So it's not guaranteed that the Merchant from London is going to survive. The Merchant from Portugal, there we go. That one is almost certainly going to survive, at least until the quest from the other side is complete. You are right about that much, at least.
I'll take 50-50 right. But it's just going to be such a powerful draw.
Take the poke, because now this also makes Rathan out next turn from Worthy Expedition.
And you'll have the mana to actually Expedition and do something about it.
Yeah. I was personally going to do if I was in Portugal's position last turn. Instead of using a hero pad to do it, I would have just used the Merchant to do it, and then just Worthy Expedition. Because then you can just Wrath next turn or play the free drop that you might get from it. Like this way, if you get the free drop, you can't do anything with your quest. Like we see here, for example, Mark of Nature would obviously be like a good answer to this Crystal Merchant, but because it like fills out all of your mana, you can't take it. Not that Oasis Surger isn't a bad thing by any definition of the word, it's just
you can
it might not have been the guaranteed pick if circumstances were a little bit different, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, having more Oasis Surges is always something you're going to be pretty happy about.
At the end of this turn, London will also have their quest complete, and he who puts the first Oasis Surger down is giving their opponent like a choice, right? It's either you kill my Oasis Surger now, or you take 10 damage.
Yeah, and when you know that currently you have more Oasis Surges available to you throughout the game, you're fine. If they bump 2 into your 2, then you still have 1 left.
Yeah.
And you're pretty happy about it.
I try to remember, London played a Worthy Expedition earlier, right? Do you remember what it got? Because I don't remember.
It was a Coon.
Thank you for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to remember that Coon is actually a choose one card when both effects go off anyway.
When it's not just Battle Cry, gain 10 armor, this costs 0.
Kind of forget to refresh the mana part and just think of it. It's like 10-0 basically. Yeah. So yeah, we do see another Oasis Surger, and of course, thanks to that Worthy Expedition, like you just said, the Portuguese will have the final Oasis Surger in this game because obviously there's no forbiddenness flute to copy Oasis Surger. So it's interesting to see how this third and final one is dealt with.
This is going to be so demoralizing though, when you answer both of theirs with yours, and then as the third one comes down, you're just... It's just going to be sad.
Let's see, so third one is coming down, and I mean, I imagine the third one's coming down. I have no idea, of course, but oh no, they are just going to go for the Hidden Oasis. Yeah, I actually like this a bit more because this puts more power on board.
Yeah, puts more power on board, and it gives you the Surger to continue being a reactive tool. Like, you know you've got that to answer something now. And they're not going to expect you to have that to answer something. So if they get something like this, they say nourished into Anubisats, then you have your Surger to come out onto the Anubisats, and they're not going to expect that.
They're just going to use Starfall to clear this board, obviously. Wrath of 4 puts the defender down to 1, then Starfall obviously clears off the 6/6 and the rest of the board, besides obviously one last 3/3. Nourish from the other side is definitely, like, the Portuguese, they need to draw Nourish, like, they're running out of stuff, their pressure is limited. So from the opposing side, there is no AoE to really punish this.
Yeah.
If the AoE materializes, they are in a very bad spot. Let's see, so just going for the Merchant, just empty the hand so that they can nourish without overdrawing, and then of course putting down the Merchant, because it's free, why wouldn't you do that? And there's another Oasis Surger, so it turns out there was the same amount the whole time.
The 6th Oasis Surger of the game.
Yep. A conundrum. Because even though they innovate at 10 cards in hand, they're still going to overdraw if they leave this turn with mana spent, and of course they will. So I hope, for the sake of London, that they don't overdraw something too important.
Yeah, what would you
be devastating.
Too upset about doing here? They have the Nomi in hand, they have the Floop in hand, and they have the Elise in hand. So there's nothing that entirely ruins their game, at least.
Do play Zephyrs the Great. That would be something that would be pretty bad to overdraw, in my opinion. That can be a way of getting rid of Malagos right at the very end.
Yeah.
Oh, War Druid Loti, but nah. You
Yeah.
always take Nourish.
Yeah,
Like,
when you're trying to just get through to start. I mean, look at your hand. You want to be elusiveness as quickly as possible.
Yeah. The merchant here as well. How important that is. I'd say it's fine. You don't really want your opponent getting Nomi on you before you obviously
I think
do your
you kill
combo.
it. Because they're going to be playing enough cards.
Overdraw, okay. I must have not seen their hand properly. My apologies. But yeah. That's fine. That's fine.
They're
So
at
anyway, we
least
do see that they can
active.
go for the third Coon. They have 30 extra armor in this one turn.
And then they could just like Scenarius or something, and this board is quite something.
They could, but I like this a bit more, like clearing off the opposing board.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, when you're from the perspective of, I have Chef Nomi, I have inevitability, this druid does not, they need to deal a certain amount of damage, and if they can't deal that damage, then they never get there.
Yeah,
so why would I leave them with a board that lets them push damage? It just seems like a bad idea. And the folks from the UK agree. So, just going to fully clear the board.
That was...
They're going to leave up the Surger, it looks like they are. I do admit a stealth War Druid Loti is quite a bit more effectual than a one with 1 HP, but no, they are just going to take the kill. Fully clear the board.
Loti on the other side.
While Loti Starfall is a very, very good AoE, it is unfortunately not quite good enough in this situation. No. Like, to fully clear the board. Starfall on its own does clear 3/5 of this, which is reasonable, but here comes Scenarius just to put on even more pressure. And the magic number in this situation is 4 health, right? Because War Druid Loti Starfall is 6 damage to one guy, 3 damage to all others. And of course, all these other minions have 4 HP, so Starfall kills none of them. So that is quite the conundrum. How does the Portuguese deal with this board, Toast?
I mean, I'm looking, and I'm coming up pretty empty. They can obviously... risking playing their low... oh my god, Floop is the card. As another Coon, probably doesn't seem all that wise, but the Starfall, like you said, even with the Loti, it would kill either the Scenarius or the 9/7 Coon, and that would be it, leaving at least 13 damage still on board. There are still...
be worried about that end game. Like, at this point, both decks are actually looking rather on the empty side. Like, I'm looking at it, and obviously production will most likely confirm this with me in a moment. I believe both sides have at least like 5 cards left.
5 or so. Yeah.
Looks that way, but of course I will be able to find out in a moment. And
how much damage?
That is a lot of damage being left back
at
on the board. Like, that
18.
is still 18 on board. Yeah. You can use swipe. Let's see, I'm just trying to think. Like, you can't get rid of War Druid Loti this turn, of course. So, question is, what else can you do?
I think there are still swipes left in Lisbon's deck.
And I don't believe they've used one swipe yet.
No, meaning
like most of this game has just been a waste of surges trading back and forth.
Pretty much every turn.
Oh, it's every single turn. Like, now we're at the Coon Scenario stage.
Well, we're past Coon for both teams now. Every Coon has been played in this game.
True. And we can see the impact of it on both sides, but mainly for London, like, the 30 residual armor is still something that's going to be very hard to remove. Now, see, they are going to use the swipe. I'm not sure I like this use of swipe. I think it would have been better just to trade off the 2 4-1 taunts. I don't particularly see how this 4-1 taunt is really that beneficial to London's strategy, knowing that Chef Nomi is there at the end game.
Finally,
Portugal
Middle
can't
East is
really deal
active.
with it. Oh, Dreamfell Florist is the last card.
Oh no.
Oh man, that is huge.
Yeah. I mean,
Board is 5 and 2 AoE, so they can clear. They can clear the 3/5 and the 4/1, and then.
and you're gonna have to duplicate
Actually,
a lot of stuff to get 52 damage to Starfalls.
that is very true, and that's obviously ignoring. That's obviously ignoring the second hidden oasis, right?
Yes.
I think you have to swipe the 6/6 actually, and just trade Crystal Merchant into it.
64 damage of Starfalls. Let me Moonfires. Doesn't even like 52 sounds alarming enough.
Yeah. You trade the low C, and yeah, they are. They're just fearing for their life at this point, because fatigue damage is obviously going to start setting in soon as well.
And
there's just so many turns that are just going to have to be done. And at least puts them back up to 10 cards in hand with Ferocious Howl. They're getting 10 armor per howl.
60 armor, 60 health.
I was about to say they're at 48 armor at this point, and they have 2 Hidden Oasis left.
And now you know
Zephyrs.
you're staring down. Well, at this point you just know that you're staring down a Nomi next turn. It's as simple as that. They're just the least, so the chances are you have to try and find a way to get through 2 turns of Nomi. Do you just...
I think you just go like double Florist here, right? You go Florist, Innovate, Flute Florist. Have to go for magic here. Like, you just have to hope that things go well for you. Like, if it hits the same minion twice, I think that might just be game over. I think you need to make it so it hits Elise and Malagos with this Dreamfell Florist.
It's the
Malagos. Oh, and it hits the Elise!
Okay, okay. So we've got a whole lot of...
Okay, hold on. It's math time.
It is math time.
So 0 mana Release means that you can cast 2 mana Malagos.
Mana.
Wait, are they just dead? Yeah, they are. Zephyrs can get Fireball, and that is just lethal. And
London,
they
we've started doing
series
maths.
1-1.
I'd started writing down the maths.
Malagos math, and this is over before it even matters.
Okay, so I wrote you had a 4 mana Goose and 4 0 mana Moonfires, and then 2.
I was about to say it's 11 per Moonfire, so
that's
11 times 4 is 44. And then you have one swipe, which is 4 plus 10, so that's 14. So that's 58 damage off the top of my head. Yeah, 58 off the top is definitely not enough.
Yeah, they had more health.
That armor at the end was too much.
Yeah. So there's the maths. Unfortunately, that game was never going to go their way.
We are moving into a more tried and tested matchup, the Combo Priest versus the Quest Druid. I've seen mixed reception on this matchup. Which side would you be more of a fan of?
I think, again, you've probably seen mixed reception because it just kind of comes down to the early game. Like if Priest gets a Priest hand, then I'm very scared for the Druid. But if the Druid even gets a couple of free turns on their way to their quest, like we're seeing they're going to get here,
it's like now High Priest Summit comes down, and there's no answer to it.
Yeah.
Like the Druid just cannot kill it. It's actually impossible. Like Druid struggles with dealing with these high health minions, and obviously they can swipe the Armet right now if they like, but it's not going to kill it. And then after that, we can go with extra arms, like, put it like if Circle of Healing. Oh my god,
no.
they drew the circle. Oh, this turn is so huge.
Okay,
so now,
I take it all back. Nothing I said is relevant anymore. They've just
so now they can trade into the merchant if they like. They don't necessarily have to, by the way, because they have Light Warden. Yeah, you trade them first. So you trade circle. So back up to 5.
Beaming.
And then you can extra arms, arms to make it a 4/7, right? And then you can go Beamy Psychic Light Warden. Yeah.
And that is a board.
How does the Druid beat that? They can't do it.
I think they beat it by clicking the bottom right of their screen. And
that's a weird way of beating it, but I guess it's the best I've got.
It's the best option.
Complete, yeah.
Okay.
Like they need one more turn to complete it.
There's an Inner Fire in hand. Let's just point that out.
Like you can more arms Armet next turn, heal it, and then you can Inner Fire on the Beaming Psychic, and then you have like a 6/11, a 7/7, and a 3/9 on board versus Druid on turn 5. Like how do you beat that? You actually just can't.
Or you could even just Psycho Pump out a free one and a Blade Monster as well.
Start at 7 health.
They're both going to be pretty big.
At 11 health, so yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is just over. There's no way Druid can come back from this.
Now,
but this is why
one of these things gets interfied.
This is why I would have picked Poison from the War Druid low team.
Yeah.
Because even if the Blade Master comes to a 4/7, right? You can just trade the Poison in next turn. You don't care about 4 damage. You just care about High Priest Armet right here doing this nonsense and going completely out of control.
Oh boy,
like, Druid cannot beat tall boards. Like historically, it's been very hard to deal with tall boards, and High Priest Armet just creates tall boards on the cheap.
Pretty much the only tool for it ever was to naturalize. I mean,
yeah, this is rotating now, so yeah, like we're just gonna see like 11. Inner Fire on like maybe the 7/7, then they're just gonna go to town.
Just you Inner Fire something and you start hitting. I mean,
actually, maybe you Inner Fire the 3/11. Actually, maybe that's what you do. Commit the Inner Fire here, I think, just to push the damage.
I mean, the Inner Fire on the 3/11 is more extra damage.
Yeah.
It's an extra.
This is lethal. Yeah, because of the more arms. There we go. And that would be 2-1, and Combo Priest is doing the work. And like I said, now that now that the counter to the Holy Red Cannon has been removed, it's going to be much harder for like London to come back. Like even if they beat the Priest, right? Like it may just depend on when they draw Hakar. Yeah. Assuming they can even win the next game, of course.
Yeah. I mean, that's the similar thing happens to that. Then that is just this game. That was. I said I was scared that Priest things might happen, and I'm not really sure what else you could describe that as. Those were definitely Priest things. We have the Armet in hand again.
Go for it again. I don't know if you keep it this time because this Resurrect Priest does have multiple ways of dealing with it. They do have the Shower of Pain and of course Forbidden Words. Yeah, that's a good one. So they can deal with it. So oh no, they are going to keep it though. Okay. And obviously, I like the keep of the Light One here from Portugal, respecting of course the fact that one Priest is going to have to heal as part of their hero power. So Light One is always going to be at least a 3/2. It's like a delayed Flame Imp, and Flame Imp was good.
Yeah, Flame Imp is I've really called there's the Forbidden Words.
Now they can't deal with the armor. It might see a repeat performance at this rate.
Maybe they're probably talking.
I was about to say, that being said...
What if the same thing happens?
Yeah. This light one is also a pretty significant threat in its own right. Every turn it's left alive, it's getting bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah,
like,
they're
how
gonna
long
have to
can you
now.
possibly wait? Yeah. So now's the question: does Portugal call their bluff? They can go for this High Priest Summit right
If they
now.
coined
Call
it,
their
and
bluff,
then they
but
can Tolvin Neferset next turn, that's scary. But
yeah.
that's gonna go
Nah,
for
they
it.
didn't want to call their bluff. They're thinking, okay,
They might
they
have
use
to
Forbidden
say.
Words in the Wander. They probably have another removal spell.
Yeah. Which is nice, because
So,
had they armored and then the turn after Torvid never setted, we would have been seeing just a repeat of last game.
you say that, we might still be in for it.
Oh,
Like, Almet can
yeah.
still come down now.
Yeah, this is
Tolbert
still...
wasn't dealt with.
It's certainly not guaranteed that we don't just see a repeat of last game yet.
I honestly think you play Almet, like, regardless. Even if it's cleared, it's still costing a fair amount for that turn, right?
Yeah.
Not cleared. And you power shield and you hit, like, Norsha Cleric, you're just off to the races.
Because, yeah, on 5, I mean, if they were going to Forbidden Words, then they could only play something that was 3 mana. Either way, in fact, so it limits them. They can't play anything else if they want to deal with the armor.
Penance? They would have used it.
Yeah.
Because leaving up a Tolvir is pretty questionable, in my opinion. So chances of Penance being there in Portugal's mind is low. So therefore, if Forbidden Words is a card, as you said, the Tolvir most likely sticks. Unless like Mass Hysteria comes down, that's also a possibility. So you do see the shield. Drawing another shield. Running out of time. And they are going to try to save the Almet. I don't mind this, like, only because they have the Bomb Samdi as well. So
Yeah.
on 6, they can go like coin Bomb Samdi and then Almet into 3 1-drops on 7. That's also an option.
Yeah, that's...
And the Res Priest is drawing all of their top end at this point.
Ooh.
Oh, Divine Spirit drawn. Okay, they don't have lethal. Not
No.
unless they draw another one. Since the Tolvir is only at 7, you can put it to 18. But 18 is not enough.
If they do, that involves the Power World Shield, though, which could, you know, draw another.
That's true. First, regardless. Like, there's no harm in playing Powered Shield.
No,
here.
I mean, in what it draws you is obviously going to dictate the rest of your... Oh, no!
Oh, they got it! So yeah, Divine Spirit times 2 plus Inner Fire is in fact 36 damage in that.
Well, plus Topsy-Turvy, but...
Yeah, Topsy-Turvy.
Oh my god.
They
Priest
do the
things happen
same
again.
thing. Don't blame me.
Priest things happened again. I can't believe it.
Did. And that'll be
Can't
it. And
believe it.
unfortunately, the London Quick Draws will be eliminated.
That is...
I was about to say, as
Yeah.
British casters, we can shed tears.
we
sadness.
can be justifiably sad, especially the way it happened.
3 games in a row. Yeah.
Yeah. And just two Divine Spirits in a row off the top to put it up to 32 health, 32 damage, and eliminate London Lisbon going through into the semi-finals. In fact, they will be playing
Yeah, they're
the
semi-finals.
Brussels.
Yeah.
They will be playing the Brussels Brawlers, I believe, tomorrow.
Yes. Yes.
So we have
Tomorrow.
both semi-finals tomorrow, and then the final is on Thursday. So Lisbon going through to that. London commiserations, but they did do well to get this far. We will be
Very
right
respectable.
back.
I agree.
Yeah, and we will be right back with Helsinki versus Cape Town in the other quarter-final as soon as we and the players are ready. Don't go anywhere. We're bringing you another best of 3 series, best of 5 series coming up very soon. We are back with the second quarterfinal of the day. I'm Omni Toaster. I'm with Paradox, and we're going to be bringing you Helsinki versus Cape Town here in the House Rivalries Nations Division. We just saw Priest exist, is what we just saw. And, well, we've got a Priest existing in one of our lineups coming into this game.
So thrilled.
You sure sound it. Helsinki, bringing a just evolved shaman, no quest involved in this one. A aggro warrior that has been banned out, that combo priest that we just saw, and then a rogue. More of just a nice aggro kind of tempo rogue. Has hench clan flags, hooks, scimitars, woggle pick. People can call it tempo all they want. I'm not letting that go. It's just aggro. There's nothing tempo about it. Cape Town over rogue could maybe be called to tempo a little bit more, going up into the Heist Baron Togwaggle, Spirit of the Shark kind of situation. A control warrior, a similar shaman, no quest, but evolve, and then a druid that's been banned out, so it's irrelevant.
I know what I say. And yeah, we are just going right into the first game. We do see it is a tried and tested matchup, I'd say. Got a Quest Shaman versus good old Control Warrior. Interestingly, the folks over at Cape Town are playing a very old package with Armadillo and Tomb 1. We've seen more recently that people have been trying out Hearted Defender and the Zoth, and basically anything that says Control, you play those cards, pretty much. But they seem to be the exception. We're seeing pretty standard openers on both sides, I'd say. Shaman obviously doing quest of 1, Warrior debating whether or not they press the button, and then they press the button. You know, it's just standard stuff, really.
Pretty hard to decide whether to press the button or not.
I'd say. Actually, nah. I like Rover because they're probably gonna put the minions down instead. You never know. The warrior, they have to go into that resident sleeper mentality. Where it's like, do I click the button? Do I? I think we've all been there once or twice. Pretty good lackey outcome from the Sludge Surfer. I might hold on to it though, just to make the Weaponized Wasp live sooner. Really have a good play on 3 regardless.
Yeah, with the one overload, obviously they're not going to be doing anything particularly strong with that hair. Can't evolve it.
Farsight isn't bad.
Yeah, I quite like the Farsight. There's a lot of things that if you can get it onto, like if you get that onto a desert hair, say, that is pretty nasty. Speaking of nasty, the Flunky.
That was a pretty nasty top deck if you're Helsinki.
But now it does mean that the warrior has to actually not just press the button, which can be pretty challenging on turn 2.
Put stuff on the board and press the button, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Yeah.
And we do see Blood of Brave, one of the taunts that was brought back from Wild. And it's not quite a Tomb 1, but it's still pretty good. Especially considering that the Discover bias has been removed, as I'm sure we are all well aware by now.
Well aware and very happy.
Very happy, he says. I don't know how I feel about that.
Less Tomb Wardens, more happy me. That's quite a nice draw. Back in the actual game. Speaking of
happiness, I'm pretty sure Helsinki are pretty happy that this lackey is left on board.
Yeah.
So now they can coin out the Weaponized Wasp if they wish to get rid of this Frightened Flunky. Whether they will, of course, is up for debate, but I imagine they will. But Weaponized Wasp is never really going to get better, so might as well just play it down now while it's good. But anyway, as you were saying.
I mean, actually, Weaponized Wasp, I've forgotten the exact stat. Is it a 2/6, the Bloodhoof Brave?
It is indeed with Enrage plus 3 attack.
Yeah, I mean, after your quest, I mean, they don't know that they have one of them, but it would deal with that quite cleanly.
clearly at the moment, though, do you see Harrison Jones picked up off the top, which will be pretty useful on 7, of course, with that weapons project. Getting 6 armor, draw 3 cards, equip a 2/3 weapon, summon a 5/4. It's not bad.
It's quite, yeah. I mean, if that was just a card, I think it would be pretty much an auto-include in most decks.
Fortunately, you have to play a second card to go with it, but yeah, it's the thought that counts, right?
Right. Brave comes down. Another mutate. Both available in hand now.
But of course, being nowhere in sight, unless this Farsight does happen to somehow find it.
Just gonna track down.
Oh,
the life drink is another battle cry, gets you closer. Something more on board. Town cry, very nice pickup. All of the rushes still left in the deck for Cape Town. So we are looking at 2 Vestas mummies and a Ziliax. And yeah, the mummy cleans this up nicely.
Nicely, of course. Like, Restless Mummy has consistently shown its power against mid-sized boards. It's why it's in the deck instead of the old. I forget what it's called actually. Militia Commander, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Mutate's actually really good on this Witchwood Piper. Like, turn it into a 5-drop. I think I would do that in this position. 1 Ziliax.
You always want Ziliax.
You always want Ziliax, but I don't know if it's good. That's the question. I think you do it regardless, though. Usually, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Usually 5-drops are better than 3/3.
Yeah. Another weapons project. Drawn by the warrior. Does give him the option to use one that isn't necessarily going to have to go with the Harrison. The shaman. She's not running any lickums or anything, so you're not removing anything with it, unless they manage to evolve into a Tyrion.
That would be a pretty awkward scenario, but they do have 2 weapons projects, and the question, I'm sure, on Cape Town's mind is whether or not they use it right now. Unless with Harrison next turn if they use it now, but it would keep one of their minions around. You could trade Blood of Brave, I suppose, make it a 5/4. And then like go face for 1. But then I think you just armor up and pass at that point.
Yeah.
Berserker is a little bit annoying, just because like Warpath seems to be a fairly obvious move, but of course the Guru Vashi Berserker gains +3 attack whenever it's damaged, so it's rather tricky to deal with if you don't have something like Shadowblood Pain like Priest does.
I hope you like my invention.
Yeah, although it is one that eventually they'll be getting up into. Ooh, there's the Evolve. Which is a
Yeah, of course. You want to wait until the desert hair comes
with
down.
the hair in hand. But the Berserker, you are going to get up into Shield Slam territory, so you can deal with it in one swoop eventually. Although with a Titanic Lackey coming onto it, it's going to start getting a little bit sketchy.
11 at this point. I actually think when it's 2-11, I think you just make the trade. What the Brave gonna do? It's gonna hit it for 5. That's fine. It's still a 5/4 at that point and growing.
Yeah, it's just going to hit it for 5 and give it. It'll be an 8/4 by the time that attack's finished. Yeah, that's kind of scary. So you obviously have the
definitely
weapons
gonna mean
project.
a Harrison turn isn't happening.
Yeah, because you can weapons project shield slam it instead now with that off the top, which does
Certainly can.
obviously deal with the slightly scary minion.
There is also just trading Blood of Brave and then going armor up shield slam. Possibility.
Yeah, with the 2 weapons projects, like you can do that. You have the redundancy to do the Harrison stuff. in a
It
couple
does,
of turns
it does let you
instead.
clear the lackey of the board. I guess that's fine. It is always worth considering whether or not you want to give your opponent that 2-3 weapon to like clear your board off with, but I suppose it's fine in this instance. There's a like if you clear the 1/1, there's no real way for Blood of Brave to die immediately on board. So yeah, just clearing off the lackey, playing around the second wall.
So even if they hit in, they're going to take 5 and not kill it at this point. And I think that's
and in a moment,
particularly attractive thing for the
moment.
Oh no.
Gonna be sick.
Well,
of course, it's going to be met immediately for Brawl, but
yeah, but we're about to see, you know, Shaman.
Maybe you don't play Mogu actually. I mean, you get what 6 4-drops and a 3-drop. That's definitely threatening enough. You don't need an 8-drop of that.
Yeah, the Mogu with the mutate in hand as well. Probably just a bit of a overextension when you can just commit
Mogu for a little bit later. Yeah. No, that being said, the warrior is 8 mana next turn, right? So you can warpath 4 times. So you might not even need to use Brawl. We'll see. No, that's a pretty good outcome actually.
Yeah, the 6 health and the 5 health especially.
As well, the 2/2 over there, in particular, is very useful to have. Just because, like, even if Warpath comes there, oh, and you get the Disease Vulture value. Oh, I forgot about that. So you get a 3-drop as well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this forces the Brawl here.
Yeah, I don't think
awkward, but it's about to say it's slightly awkward because since the Eager Unling dies, whatever minion from Helsinki's side survives this is getting +2/+2, which is a little bit awkward, but
yeah, I mean 1 in 8 for your Torvin hero to survive this.
1 in 8. Oh boy, I'm not a fan of those odds.
No.
Like, what's that? 12.5%?
Yep.
12.5%? It's not gonna happen. I don't believe you.
I didn't say it was gonna happen. I said those were the odds. Yeah, it didn't happen.
Yeah. Survive as a 5/5 now. But Warrior's still sitting pretty at 15 armor. Total appears to be decreasing at a pretty rapid rate, but we do see a Life Drinker. So it can put the Warrior right back down to 4 armor. And Cape Town is running out of cards, but we do see they only have 5 cards left, 2 AoEs and 2 Modern. So this Harrison Jones is going to be very important for the future.
They're running out, but they do have that, you know, big kind of card swing turn to get them some more to play.
Huh. Life Drinker? Is that what they're thinking?
I think that's what it looks like, yeah. Get your health total
as I say,
back
it looks to me like they might have played that a bit too fast. I think they might be saying, ooh, what if we fast sight? Because that is an option. The hero power, it's a bit more tricky.
I think now the hero power's come down. Yeah, I mean, now the hero power's there, you got the Life Drinker totem is...
yeah, they're just going to commit to it now.
Yeah.
Do they mutate to get a 5-drop out of the Life Drinker? I don't think they do.
With the Mogu in hand, they don't, no.
Yeah.
If they didn't have the Mogu, then maybe it's something they'd think about.
That doesn't do a whole lot. I think this is as good a Harrison turn as you're really going to get. Because it's a 7 mana commitment, right, to draw those cards. And so I think I'd rather do it now while the board isn't that scary.
Yeah. So you can kill the evil totem, and then you can still hit the button.
Gain 8 armor this turn, so you're back up to 10 armor. Like, that armor total will be back down to 0 by the end, but you still got 2 more, you still got Zillia, you still got double warpath, like, you're fine. The Warrior is definitely fine in this position.
Yeah, there's still another...
Up to the Shaman to find that burst damage to close this game
there's
out.
Still 1 more shield block, I believe, that they haven't played.
Boom, who gives 7 armor upon impact. Oh, interesting. So yeah, just gonna go for the warpath. Okay. Let's try and get the maximum usage out of that weapon while preventing like the 8 damage to face. Okay, I respect that.
So I think now is the time for the fast fight to be the opening gambit. Ooh.
Yeah, you say that, but
Yeah,
sometimes
but then
it's not quite so simple.
There's no way. Let.
Mm.
Yeah.
Until, not that great.
No, not terrible, but you would have wanted to see maybe a Shadow
It's
Walk.
Slacky. This can still be a Mogu turn. Let's see what they get. Slacky and ooh, face the Slacky. So face the Slacky summon. Yeah, nah, it's not a Mogu turn.
Someone's dude, that's a little bit of mana off.
Use and yeah, just gonna make one of them 2/6. Fair enough.
Makes their board.
But I think I think if I was in Helsinki's position, I would have went for the Cable Rat and tried to go wide into Mogu Mutate this turn. Just try to say, you've used one Brawl, one Warpath. The chances of you having the ability to deal with a massive 8-drop is rather low. And if that 8-drop is something like Ragnaros, for example, that can't be dealt with, that's just disgustingly huge. But yeah, nah. It's been a nice opportunity just to say, yeah, your ball isn't that scary, I'm just going to draw 3 cards. So let's see, second Brawl found, second Flunky found, and
Dr. Boo. That was a pretty good draw as far as draws go.
Yeah, I agree. And we did see another Flunky. The Flunky chain does remain, even with it being much less likely. So I imagine this is as good a turn as any to try to go for Mogu. Drops are we looking for here? There is Tyrion, Ragnaros, like I said. Octosari.
Not sure if you're too happy about Octosari.
Octosari seems pretty good from my perspective.
I guess actually you are going to be dumping quite a lot of cards this turn, yeah.
I'm fine with drawing 8 cards here.
Yeah.
Because this never goes to fatigue.
No, if it gets even close, then it's just, yeah, you're done. They do have Elysiana, they do have Brewmaster.
I think I would have mutated the Mogu first though before trading, but oh well. Oh, they actually got it! Oh, Octosari, let's go! And they can play MC Tech and Cobalt Lucky.
Yeah,
they don't even overdraw from Octosari. Oh my god.
Go
that was so huge.
Both MC Techs instead, save the damage. It's fine.
Oh my god, that's so huge. Because the warrior doesn't play silence. So Octosari is always going to draw 8 cards here.
Yeah.
That's so bad for the warrior.
So for the warrior, I guess the question is, do you brawl this or do you Warpath Plague this? Because this isn't a board you are particularly happy allowing to stick around.
Warpath is something you want to save for a bit later. If Octosari lives, it's not even that bad for you. Because then they don't draw the cards. So I think Brawl is just better. Guaranteed of a board clear, right? Like, Warpath or Whirlwind Plague of Wrath is guaranteed to clear any hair or Mogu board that's summoned after this. Or like Shadowwalk shenanigans.
Alright, can the octopus win?
Can Octosari do it?
Nope.
No, he is gone.
That is a lot
of
cards
cards being drawn.
More
It's
drawn,
the same
all
Cable Rat
generation.
isn't bad. Weaponized Wasp is good.
Wasp, Shadowwalk.
Huh. Not that great.
There's a lot of
being
cards,
honest.
but I'm not particularly excited by the cards that it is.
Yeah, unfortunately, like we do see double Questioning Explorer post quest, which obviously River Croc has never been a good minion.
No.
Especially
on
not
turn
against
10
Warrior.
against Control Warrior. You're not massively happy playing 2 River Crocs.
Of course it's the right way.
So I guess it's hero power into Cable Rat now. I just get extra lackeys.
Yeah. And he's just gonna start juicing the shuttle. Like you can even clear off the Dynamatic, should you please?
You don't want to
just
clear
pass
Dynamatic,
on
no.
it?
You want to send every point of damage that you can to face. It's true value. You win this by going face, because eventually your opponent is just gonna play Dr. Boom, get like armor hero powers, rush it, like rushing mechs, etc. And it's just over. Like their board state is so weak that Dr. Boom can just come down now with basically no opposition. Like they have 8 on board, so all they're doing is just getting rid of Cape Town's armor at present.
Thank God it doesn't cost 8 anymore. Well, 7 anymore.
7, yeah.
That would have been
given 7
significantly
more armor.
Yeah, that would have been a whole lot more armor. Being really quite upsetting.
Dr. Boom, right? Where it can cost 9 mana, and even in this poisonous off meta, where cards like Omega Assembly and Mechs are much less seen, Dr. Boom is still good enough to where it's still in this deck. I think it just shows the power of the card.
Yeah. A lot of things show the power of that particular card.
Barista drawn off the top, which you would definitely want to use it with the Kobold Lackey, like just to get that 8 extra damage through with that bonus hero power stuff.
You really don't want to use it with Questing Explorers on board.
That is absolutely true. So
that is
I imagine
it's
probably going to come down once this stuff is cleared. Yeah.
You mean you don't want to play 4 River Crocs in your deck? Because I mean, that sounds pretty good.
Extra River Crocs? No, I wouldn't.
Oh yeah, it would be 6 River Crocs. Oh, God.
We'll see hero power first. I'm kind of inclined to go with Weaponized Wasp here, actually. Weaponized Wasp to base, but I guess this is fine too. Necessarily have to Barista next turn, I suppose. Ooh, Spell Lackey picked up.
Yeah, Spell Lackey is. I mean, I think at this point, Spell and Kobold are really
like the only
lackeys
lackeys that matter. Yeah. All right. Puffs do clear the board.
Okay then.
But you don't really want to do that because this board is
It's
like it has
not-
non-existent power.
Yeah, like you're not scared of being hit for still just 8
Like
a turn.
4 or something, yeah. Like 2/1 gets rid of the 1/5, no problem. And obviously, you'd rather get rid of the Cable Rats if they're on like Bog Slusher or something than you are Questing Explorer, which does nothing.
So you're staring down a whole 7 damage with 2/3/5 taunts. It's not particularly anything that you're gonna invest resources into stopping, and another blast shield. Ooh dear.
Yep. Evolve drawn off the top. So they can make a whole bunch of trades into these 2/1s and then just go Desert Hair, like Hero Power Desert Hair Evolve. I think that's fine. Like, I think that's what you do actually. Like, you clear as much of this as possible. You clear off your own board full of like non-minions, and then you just evolve into 4-drops. I think that's what you do this turn.
At least try and
No.
force out. You know you've seen 2 brawls, 1 warpath, so if you can force out the Plague of Wrath and the warpath before you Shadow Block, and hopefully you can try and build up that final final board.
What
are we gonna
5
get?
4-drops.
Oh,
Swift
that's quite
Messenger.
that's pretty good. Just managed to kill that off. Get some mutate.
Mutate with Shudderwalk would make it a 10-drop, but I'm probably going to mutate something else. Bloodlust?
Oh,
Okay. Yeah, I don't mind this. Like,
thing
holding
is-
holding the mutate back, I don't mind that.
yeah. This board dies.
Or how does it die? They don't need to
You
play
just
crap. They can
fight
just warp
path,
off 4
right?
times.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
do all the warpaths. And you can save the Plague of Wrath for the boom hero power. I think that's fine.
You only warp off 4 times because you can use the weapon, and then you blast shield to get that 7 armor backup. Nice and simple. How can Shaman deal 32 damage from this position? That is the question.
Hero
How
power.
can they do it?
Hero power. Kobold Lackey, Wasp, Barista. And fill your hand up with burn.
It's 11 mana, so you might need to try again.
Shit. Hero power. Learn to count.
It's Hero Power Kobold Lackey and then Barista, so you get 2 Kobold
Yeah.
Lackeys back. And then you play 1, and then obviously you hold one of the Kobold Lackeys back for like the Wasp or Shadowbook.
Yeah.
I think that's the best you can do, honestly.
Do you save mutate at this point for the Mogu and hope for like a Tyrion?
Oh, okay. Let's see what they get.
Decent bug.
That's actually not bad
No.
because you do have 2 life drinkers which can heal you.
Yeah, if you let it die and then the Shadow Walk happens, then you will be at least getting a 4-8 back.
With Taunt.
With Taunt, yeah. I think at this point though, your life total is the least of your worries.
But you
And,
do actually need to have life total damage in order to have it be healed.
That's also true, yeah. Actually, yeah, at this point, they'll only ever be healing 2 and the loosen buff will be just 2/5 of the way
From
there.
the weapons project would turn into a disadvantage somehow.
Just such smart play from Kingdom.
Life is full of
You gotta predict the
isn't it?
loosen buck.
You can't predict what 8 drops you're gonna get, otherwise
No.
you predict you get like Octosari and Ragnaros like every time.
Just a lot of
Actually,
lore next
looking
gonna be
on
coming
it.
out.
Actually looking on it, how like fatigue is setting in because of Octosari being rolled.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Octosari was still like one of the better rolls that
Yeah.
what's it called, the Mythic they've given though.
Because like you said, fatigue isn't gonna be the decider here, because either the shaman's gonna kill them or they're just gonna gas out. So one way or another, the shaman's probably gonna reach the end of their deck.
Yeah, just going for the Shadow Bot now. I guess just using Barista as like the final little thrust.
If he
like,
draws
right at the end.
enough cards, never mind. So if he drew enough cards and got far enough in fatigue, then he might get this to be active again.
Yeah. He
but
has only
alas.
played 1 Novice Engineer, unfortunately, so
Yeah.
Shadow will only draw 1 card. And even if it did draw 2, that armor is still in the way.
Not the camel. He has so many 1/1s.
Yeah, no, he is past it. Hopefully the camel hits something like irrelevant. I don't know. Like a hair, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is pretty rough.
This is not.
Gonna have to do God's
Great.
work in order to save this game. I don't think it's doable.
I don't think it's doable because he just has boom Plague of Wrath. He kills everything if he wants to.
The main thing I'm looking at right now is the Zilliax. Because Zilliax means that like even after this like giant onslaught with the Kobold Lackeys and Barista and stuff, like it won't be enough.
No.
Like Zilliax can heal for at least 7 at the moment with Omega Devastator. And there's no way of dealing with Zilliax once it's on that Devastator, so I believe that's checkmate.
It does seem quite checkmate-like.
This place is scary.
Another flunky!
It continues, and yeah, there we go. There's the Plague of Wrath. And yeah. But the worry, even has control of the board at this point, that's when you know things have gone bad. They do have the Beacon Lightning, which can get rid of this board. approach this turn? What is the best option?
So play out as many lackeys as you can and then barista them back.
Ones do you want bounced back?
Yeah.
There's also
well, obviously
the
kobold is
possibility. That's what I say. It's also the possibility of a faceless lackey getting battle crow minions that barista would bounce back. But that's also a problem.
Yeah. So maybe he just goes for the faceless lackeys here. Tries to build up another board.
Picked up for. Okay, neither of those are battle crows.
No. Also not battle crows.
Oh,
he has to use his mana. Oh no! That is not what you want to see. I mean, he can use his mana.
It's not.
That's not in any way that
you
you
can totemic smash face here, and that would get rid of the 2 on the bright side. And to be fair, if this board isn't clear, Bloodlust is pretty good next turn.
It is, yeah. But
like Bloodlust with Kobold Lackey. Like, it's an out.
Gonna take an extra tick of fatigue. Oh no. That is a whirlwind.
Do a whole lot. Actually, it clears both of the lackeys, I guess. A lot of this board is just gone now. It's just a question of how.
Yeah.
How do you want to get rid of this board? Whirlwind, and then
do you just start with
Restless Mummy would get rid of the 2/3 and the Dozing Markman. So the only thing left would be the Frog and the Crystal Merchant.
Honestly, at this point, leaving the Crystal Merchant up might not be the worst idea.
Me too. Like, you can just play stuff like the, what's it called? Fry and Funky afterwards?
Yeah.
And then Crystal Merchant has a die to it. Yeah.
Because then, if you leave Crystal Merchant up here, it's potentially just dealing 6 damage to face, basically. Ooh.
Oh, there's a Turtle Rover with Ziliax. Yeah. Oh, that's a classic combo right there.
Okay.
A slightly safer line with the 2/1. So now,
Oh, and another blast shield there as well.
That's good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Helsinki are going to concede fairly soon. They can't get the damage done in time. They are dead in 3 turns. There's no way they can get through 30 health in 3 turns.
Yeah.
Especially not with Ziliax sitting there.
Perplexing.
Yeah, and they know as well that the Ziliax and Omega Devastators are still just waiting, either in the deck or in the hand. But either way, they're going to find it pretty challenging to work their way through this.
Kobold Lackey and then Barista? Is that what they're going for?
I guess.
It looks like that's what they're aiming for. Leaving up the 3/5? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you have to, then just hit the Crystal Merchant into it. Well, otherwise
I mean, it doesn't matter.
6.
This is still over at this point. Now all Cape Town has to do is just Ziliax on the Tomb one there, hit him in the face, hit him with the weapon and tank up, and then they just die on their own sword pretty much.
Yeah, because next fatigue tick is 6.
The next one is 5 because Crystal Merchant didn't
5?
go off, I believe.
This would be a good time.
I'm not entirely sure about that. We'll find out at the start.
I think it's
anyway.
6.
The point I'm trying to get at here is that they're dead in 2 turns.
Yes.
Like
yeah,
that
the
is
Warrior
an
has
immutable
taken
fact.
this game.
Yeah. Like the only way they can lose is by just like taking 30 damage. So like your Ziliax for defense, tank up, like deal as much damage as you can, gain as much health as you can, and then just win from there.
And hopefully don't make them concede so we can see who was right about fatigue.
Weird point for the team to do, thinking about casters, worrying about fatigue damage in a situation like this, but
It's being considered.
there's always the first for everything, I suppose. Clearing off the board, just removing all possibilities. But yeah, we're done here.
Yeah.
Really be dealt. I was about to say the 2-1 can't even be dealt with without hitting into it at least once.
Yeah, there's no possible way here of dealing. Well, it's 30 damage, but then another is 36 because they have the heal, and then they also have armor gain from the Eternium Rover, so it's 38. They're not dealing
15 damage with the 2 Cobalt
Actually,
Lackeys
just 30.
and the Wasp.
Yeah, it was just 30 in
So
this turn.
they found the correct way for lethal. It's fine. Just shoot yourself in the head.
Well, Control Warrior fairly comfortably getting through that Shaman, to be honest. It didn't seem
I was gonna
threatened.
say, and production has told us during the game that we were apparently wrong about the lineup, like very wrong. So
Incredibly wrong.
like we were right. I was about to say we were right about the Quest Shaman, but
Actually, we
Helsinki
weren't,
Reds they've still got. I was
said
about
it
to say
was
they've
the
still
Quest.
got the Control Warrior, they've still got the priest, the Resurrect Priest that we saw last time, which I believe is coming up now.
Well, their
And the
warrior-
only deck I didn't mention, of course, the Highlander Hunter.
But their warrior was banned,
Yeah,
and that warrior ban makes a lot more sense now that we see its new control than the.
Control Warrior, yeah, that makes much more sense.
Yeah. Was very confused, less so now. So the Highlander Hunter's going to come out.
Indeed. And we do see Diamond Tamer Brand in the opening hand, and I'm pretty sure against Control Warrior you keep it, right?
You keep, yeah.
But to
Just
hope you draw a secret.
yeah, just hit the Ziliak's back, look for the secret, and the bow.
I mean, there's nothing for you to really hit in the early game with the bow besides like flight for Linky, so makes sense.
Face. That's some
Multiple
secrets.
secrets, so always a good start. Pressure plate won't be seeing very much use in this matchup.
No, but that can always be nice, especially when you get into kind of warpath turns. Warrior's one that's probably going to give you that rat, like guaranteed at some point.
Probably gonna give it to you and then kill it immediately.
Probably
but
she'll slam it or something, yeah, but
it's the thought that counts.
yeah.
Now, do you coin out the Hyena Alpha right away? I imagine not, because you're expecting Restless Mummy, which just clears it right off the bat. 2/3 of a Hyena Alpha.
Yeah, you get a coin to 4 mana 2/2 at that point, and ooh.
The Snip Snaps on the opposing side, that is not appealing. Looking really bad for Helsinki, actually. It's like they've got the Mummy on 4, they've got the Armadillo on 6, which is buffing 2/1.
Yeah, and the mummy just comes
And
down.
this Highlander Hunter is not known for its AoE at all, but that's not what the deck does. That's not what Hunter does, to be fair.
I mean, at the moment, how do they even deal with the Armadillo beyond coining Dino Tamer Brand
Yeah,
and crying to themselves?
we do see the Mummy coming down, which will get rid of Versatron. Now what do they get? They do get Snip Snap of their own, which is alright.
It's something.
What is just rapidly, second by second, just rapidly deteriorating. Hyena Alpha is definitely going to help a lot, though, like just in clearing some of this up. It doesn't get rid of Snip Snaps, certainly, but it is doing quite a good job against the rest of the board.
Yeah, we'll probably leave you with a 2/2 against what they're 1/2 and 2/1. Which isn't awful.
Spear picked up, which is a pretty good card against Snip Snap, being honest. Like, you clear the Snip Snap, and then you summon the 1/1 Locust of Rush, which then gets rid of the other part of it. How do you work out your curve for the rest of the game? Like, do you coin Animal Companion here? Quite possibly, because you have the
Yeah.
double Snip Snap on 6 to follow it. Because obviously Helsinki, they don't know that there's an armadillo staring
No.
at them
Yeah, they're not.
on the other side.
I don't think there's any world in which you're saying, "Oh, we need to save the coin in case we need to dine on tame of Brandon Armadillo." That seems quite unlikely.
Yeah. So, bring out the animal companion then.
Now.
Leok would let you deal with it, to be fair. Hoffa does too. And so does Misha. So all three do let you deal with Armadillo. But no, they're not even in the coin. Okay.
Well, because they couldn't, because they played the Shimmerfly, so by that point they were committed, because they only had one
Right,
left.
they only have 1 mana. Yeah,
Yeah.
ignore me. Ignore me.
So,
I was thinking that Shimmerfly wasn't there and they had 2 mana. My bad.
yeah, Armadillo comes down. The Shimmerfly needs... Ooh, that helps them deal with it, in fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is time for Dino Tamer Brand to make his grand debut. And now he enters the stage.
You'll find me wherever the action is.
Gets rid of Armadillo, Desert Spear gets rid of the rest of the board.
And you get to hit
And
the
the
warrior for
follow-up?
2.
Yeah, I was about to say, and the follow-up from the Warrior side isn't ideal.
No.
Obviously their turn 8 play is incredible, but you
Yeah.
still have to weather the storm for 1 turn, and the question is, how do you do that? You couldn't get rid of Crush and Bran with the Restless Mummy.
Yeah, I think whatever they do, the mummy is highly likely to be involved here. It's whether they want to get rid of both parts of this or just the King Crush.
He feels too efficient not to do, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Because otherwise you're using both halves of the mummy just to get rid
just
of
to hit
King Crush.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're gonna go your line, Whirlwind down, Mummy down, deal with most of the board, leave up a 2-1. To be honest here, when you know what your turn 8 is, you're not particularly scared of 2-1.
Do you see Sandbinder drawn off the top, which can get Zephyrs or Ragnaros? I think they don't play Tiamat. We'll find out in a moment what it's going to get, though. They are going to play it, and it does get Ragnaros. And with the Armadillo buff are in fact 5/8s. Which does mean Ragnaros 2 times out of 3 is killing at least one of them without taking any damage himself.
Yeah, and with the Halfa, you have the protection for the Ragnaros just a little bit. Might force a brawl or some other kind of AoE.
Ragnaros wins that brawl. Now, wouldn't that be a world?
Then suddenly you're very, very happy.
Or indeed. They can clear this board this turn
Yeah.
without needing to use Ragnaros.
They can
though.
Houndmaster and Mark Shot.
Yep.
Which, while that may be
6
better,
and
is it more
2.
fun?
Yeah.
No. But
Yeah, it looks like that's what they're going for. Oh, the
deadly
deadly
shot.
shot!
Never mind.
Oh,
This
that's
is
huge!
definitely better.
Use the last charge of the spear. I think you do. You use the last charge of the spear and then the 2/1 hyena. Just clear off the weak remnants of the board, so you still have something resilient afterwards. Because life in this matchup is unimportant. The warrior is never going to kill you from bad damage.
It's a huge
Keeper as well, just to fill out the mana. Yeah, I don't mind that.
I knew what you did.
If this board is dealt with, then Call of the Wild comes out, and then Ragnaros immediately afterwards. Like, this is the power of this. Like, traditional mid-range hunter sort of did a similar thing against Control Warrior, where Control Warrior would have the AoE, but the hunter would just put out threat after threat
Yeah,
after
just
threat
keep going.
while dealing the damage, and Control Warrior would eventually just crumble in on itself, which seems to be the case here.
Question is if the Ziliax comes down. Obviously, Call of the Wild then. Bit of an overcommittal.
Say
is the
that,
Ragnaros.
but... Especially say that, but I'm not sure I agree. Anyway, I don't think you call for one now. I think now is a good time for Ragnaros, or possibly Snip Snap times 3. I think times 3. I think you make a big boy. I don't think you go wide. Going wide makes you
No.
weak to Warpath. I think you go tall with this. Like, they recognize that their board is still pushing a tremendous amount of damage, so force the brawl, force the AoE, and then afterwards they can just go Call of the Wild or Ragnaros and just go to town. They're just currently debating whether or not they want to have 2 separate Snip Snaps or one just absolutely massive one.
I think you go for the one absolutely massive one.
What to do?
You're not looking at
Yeah, I
any,
agree.
You're not looking at any silences. Just checking. Yeah, you're not looking at any silences. You're getting rid of all the armor, so Shield Slam isn't be there.
Oh, here comes the brawl.
Or number 1 out of the deck.
There are no Warpaths, so both Snip Snaps are dead, so the board will be full. It'll be full right back up. On Ciliax? Ciliax doesn't deal with the 2-4.
Flunky,
Exactly much
see what you
better.
see?
Then just don't attack. Maybe that's what you do.
Yeah, maybe just realize that this isn't the most threatening board that you might be faced against, and you're not particularly scared. As long as they
Oh, you kind of did a trick question on you there, because if Ciliax comes down and doesn't attack, then 3 of these smates can be traded off, and they call the
and
wild
you
comes
call it
down.
wild, yeah.
Yeah, and then Leox suddenly is dealing a lot of damage, along with Huffer, of course. Simple now though, because only 2 mechs can die here.
But Ragnaros exists, and could
Certainly exists, and I'm pretty sure he's about to make his
come onto this board.
Although, but I actually think I would have went Call of the Wild here, to be honest,
Hopefully,
because it summons Huffer and Leok, but it wouldn't
Yeah.
summon Misha.
and that's a
And
lot
Huffer
of
and
damage.
Leok are the animals who actually won in this situation. The Misha having torn means nothing.
Because suddenly you're pretty much doubling the damage you're pushing just from those 1/1s. I mean, this way you're getting them down to
Yeah.
10.
And, like, more weak
Yeah.
to brawl, right? Compared to
Yes.
like just Ragnaros.
Yeah. You know, right now, it's like,
Second brawl has to come down. Like,
well, you.
imagine the horror if Ragnaros wins this brawl though.
I think if Ragnaros
that'd be
wins this
disaster.
brawl, that is it. Not him, not him. Oh.
Yeah, Ragnaros barely lost though.
That was
If Ragnaros won
so
that brawl,
close.
that would have been huge.
Okay.
Yeah. Main picked up. Like, the pressure just keeps on coming down. Like, the Hunter's just nowhere near out of threats yet. This is crazy.
No.
East
Unleash the beast, and
Houndmaster.
then you handmaster it, and you kill that, and then you've got a huge beastie on board.
Yeah, you just got another decent board that needs to be
Yeah.
dealt with, and 2 brawls are gone. Like, how many more times can the warrior possibly deal with this board state? Out Nazov, right? Nazov definitely would have helped in scenarios like this, but there's no Nazov. What can you do?
Dynamatic put the Ziliax on the Dynamatic.
Hit the 7-6. And it cleared the Houndmaster, so
That's pretty nice.
good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's huge actually. Because,
Yeah.
like, you can't clear that in one hit, even with Call of the Wild. Yeah. To full? Oh no. That's not good. Don't clear that Dynamatic, it's healing for 6 as well.
You've for Subject 9 hope for, like,
You're gonna get freezing trap.
freezing,
Do.
at
Yeah,
least.
you know you're gonna get freezing trap.
Yeah, it buys you a turn where he can't hit with that unless he draws. Has he played both? I believe he's played both. mummies.
His rush
So.
cards. Yeah, you
Yeah.
pay 2 mummy and celiacs. Yeah. Pay the 3/4 as well. Yeah.
Got something to hide?
But yeah, you're alright. It does buy him at least 1 turn. Harrison picked up. Like a possibility that you try to like double bluff here, and you actually
Play pressure
cause.
play.
But yeah, I don't think you do though, because you
No.
didn't draw it from subject 9. But imagine if you did draw pressure plate from subject 9. I think it might actually be feasible to do it there. Oh, they're
Is
making
he
the
gonna do
attack.
Does he think that they've gone for the mega bluff?
Oh,
dear. Oh
yeah.
dear.
I think Cape Town might have thought it was the double bluff.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. If they go Harrison Shield Slam, then props the rat trap. Oh, that hit was so huge.
That belongs in a museum.
Cape Down just throw.
Don't shield slam. Please do not shield slam.
If they use this Shield Slam right now, they have propped the
they're
rat
done.
trap. Oh, but they've drawn the second one, so they can clear the 6/6 immediately.
Unless they flunky, so they're gonna do it pop.
Now
And
they
then,
can
yeah.
Shield Slam and get rid of rat trap.
But
But now
now,
Call of the Wild comes out.
yeah.
Oh my god, this is insane.
And the
Because Call of the
Wild,
Wild is still pushing 10 damage right now. Like, and it's generating a board. Oh my goodness.
Job done.
Oh, the Warpath!
Warpath isn't that good, actually.
I mean,
Because it's giving the initiative right back over to the hunter,
it is,
right?
yeah.
So like, you Warpath clear
But-
the board, but you're not generating a board yourself, and you're still at 11. Like, sure you armor up, but you're still at 11. Like, imagine if Zoljin was drawn like right off the top right now, for example.
yeah.
That, like, they'd be down to like 7. Yeah. The top.
What is it?
Is not that good here because
No.
it just dies straight away to Dynamatic.
High
So yeah,
main secrets.
yeah, I like Snake Trap. I think you
I like-
also
Snipe?
so honestly it's a hard sell to me to put Snipe down here. I think you just click the button if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I
two
don't think
damages.
you care about Dynamatic to play Snipe. And I don't think you care
Yeah.
about Tomb Warden enough to play Snipe either. Because like Tomb Warden gets answered by Siamat. And then you can just push with high main. So yeah, you're not worried about any minion he plays here. It could be a bit of a nuisance though, because it would summon 3 2/4s. And Siamat doesn't quite answer that
No.
the way I think he would like it to.
We are. I mean, looking at Helsinki's deck, it is getting pretty thin.
I mean, Zoljin is coming
Yeah,
up.
the Zoljin is coming up soon. 6 cards left.
Yeah.
So,
And obviously, Call of the Wild is in Unleash the Beast, which will add another copy of Unleash the
Yeah.
Beast to the hand is in there.
an animal
We've
companion.
seen Rat Trap, Freezing Trap, Snake Trap, of course.
Mark shot.
Mark Shot's a good point.
Deadly shot.
Deadly Shot. Deadly Shot's another good one. Like Zoljin is just going to be insane. Like, I
Yeah.
think that's just the safe way of saying
I think
it. It's just
that's
gonna be...
that's what we're getting at. If you hadn't noticed, is that the Zoljin is a 1 in a 6 chance to come out.
Oh!
Ooh.
Zephyrs as well is another good draw, but it's not quite good just yet.
Yeah, there's nothing.
But it
You can
can
get
be
that
a
wall.
Fireball or a Pyroblast later on.
Yeah.
Warrior's running out of health. Like I said, they're at 11 with 2 armor. Time is running out.
What to do?
Go for... nah, I don't think you go for CM actually just yet. I think you just settle for Unleash the Beast, to be honest.
Yeah, it's gonna.
Rush into the
It juices your
2/4.
Zoljin even more.
Yeah, hit him for 6, like with the 2/2/2s and the hero power, and I think you
Like
just
a
snipe.
secret. Yeah.
But yeah, they're at 7 now, so if they don't armor up, then Zephyr's is lethal next turn with Fireball.
Yeah.
So they have to armor up.
I mean, they have to know every turn. Armor. Oh, Doctor Boom. That's some armor.
And
That's
pick
what that is.
up. It's also
Is
important
it
to remember
better?
that Snake Trapper's on board as well. So like, even when this Dynamite trades, it's still putting 3/1/1s in play.
Yeah.
Clifford gets the perfect card. So if the board remains like this, like
gets
with the
three-
couple of 2/2s and the 3/1/1s with Snake Trap, then Zephyr's gonna get like Savage Roar or Bloodlust.
Bloodlust. Yeah.
And then it would be lethal anyway.
Yeah. Is it? Boom is good, but is 2 more than armor up just better? Because it stops. Oh wait, no, because then he just dies to Zephyrus potentially.
Ooh, okay. Alright, hold on. They're at
So they have-
14.
They have 4.
Okay, they're at...
So he's not going to find 10. Not going to find 10 this turn anyway. Obviously, he could get a Pyro Blast.
Zephyr's as good as he is, he's not that good.
Well, as far as we see right now,
So that
if you
will be
do- if you
9
do-
damage. Wait, hold on. So
if you deal 4 in Zephyrus, he's going to give you a Pyro Blast, and we know this. I mean, we can see at least there's no armor.
Alright. Damage.
Your wish is my suggestion.
Damage. There's no way this is lethal, right? Love of this is. Wait.
Is Savage?
Savage Roar is +6. Yeah, no, I must have missed out.
Yeah, that's lethal is what that is.
Perfect card, it's always lethal.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
am I
I mean-
saying?
Pretty sure if you play Zephyrus, you just win the game, right? It gives you the perfect card.
Yeah.
The warrior, control warrior, gone.
Wasn't going to
finally.
win that
Thank
game,
God for that.
Zolchin probably was, just because
Yeah.
of the amount of damage it was going to produce.
5 cards left in the deck at that point. No, 4 cards left in the deck after that turn.
Yeah.
After the Eagle Horn, bow, draw. So the hunter.
Coming out of pressure at that point in the game
Taking
either.
down
Like,
the
they still
warrior.
had to see him as well, like worst case.
Moving on
Tremble
quick
before the might
fire.
of the elves.
into against the shaman.
Yeah. This has been traditionally a fairly unfavorable matchup for the hunter, I would say. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not feeling good for the hunter in this one. I think the shaman can just answer back with more pressure than the warrior can.
Yeah. Notice with the shaman decks as of late is, even though they appear to be aggressive, their aggression really only starts from the 3rd turn. It's actually fairly mild as far as aggro starts go, when you think about it. Starting to avoid going for the spring pull there, just to play around Mogu Flash Shaper
Yeah.
shenanigans that we've seen oh so often before now.
Just hit them in the face a little bit more.
But at this point, I imagine Cape Town is just hoping that the Spirit of the Frog is able to pull out some pretty impressive stuff, and yeah, it might.
Yeah, so with a couple of 0 mana spells that are available, then they are going to be throwing either Earth Shocks, Evolves, or Lightning Bolts, which then can draw into the Soul of the Murloc or another Earthen Might. It's kind of those 1s and 2s that are available to them. There's one of the Evolves.
Well, yeah. So I imagine Spirit of the Frog is probably going to come down here, but there is a deadly shot.
There is a
So
deadly
Spirit of
shot.
the Frog does come down, and it doesn't do anything. It just dies immediately to a deadly shot. What a tragedy that would be.
They are running 2. Oh, here he comes.
Yeah, but they
They're
don't
gonna
have
get
the other
draws.
one.
No.
Are they just gonna go for the evolve now? Ah. Off this board now. Interesting.
Evolve would be a 4 and a 3.
Yeah.
With a mutate as an option as well. So they're gonna get 2 4s.
It's true, they
Oh.
are going for that now, just trying to fish out as many 1-cost spells as possible. A Spirit of the Dragon
Battle
Hawk,
the Dragon
I
Hawk.
believe. Yeah, pretty sure it's Spirit of the Dragon Hawk. Which doesn't mean Deadly Shot is a 50-50 now, which is about as good as I think Cape Town were hoping for. Question is,
What to do?
do you go for the 50-50? It looks like they're not going to go for it. It looks like they're going to play it quite a bit safer than that, which I can respect. Obviously, if you go for the Deadly Shot and it lands on the Spirit of the Dragon Hawk, that's just a catastrophe. You never recover from
Yeah,
a turn that weak.
Yeah. You did kill a Naught 3, but then you've, left the frog up. The frog does stay up, obviously, but you didn't waste a pretty big resource, something you definitely, it's a Highlander deck. You're only running 1 of those removals. The Shaman doesn't have a whole lot to do here.
They also have to be a bit worried about pressure plate. So they don't want to wind their board too, they don't want to play spells if they don't need to. But yeah.
Yeah.
They do see now, of course, it is not a pressure plate. And next turn, the Spirit of the Frog will die because there is the double Springfall. Is if the Spirit of the Dragon Hawk trades. But if it trades, there's a freezing trap, so it's a lose-lose scenario for Cape Town at this point.
I mean, you don't want Spirit of the Dragon Hawk actually in your Shaman deck. Costing 5.
Yeah. 4, you mean? It only costs 2 mana, it's not that bad.
It does only cost 2, you're right.
All the Spirit cards have differing mana costs, right?
Yeah.
Actually, no, that's a lie because Spirit
no.
of the Bat and Spirit of the Dragon Hawk both cost 2 mana. But the rest of them, I'm pretty sure are different mana, right?
Tiger
Spirit
is
1, Frog is 3,
is
and
4.
Shark is 4.
Tiger is also 4, pretty sure.
Tiger is also 4. Yeah, that is true. Yeah. Yeah, you always get rid of Spirit of the Frog here. There's no way you let a card that good stick around. Not if you can help it.
Yeah, and again, you're just this 2/5 Spirit of the Dragonhawk is just a detriment currently.
That is true, but it does mean that this Mogu that's about to come out in a second won't be bounced back through freezing trap, which is kind of
You
relevant.
can test for the freezing.
So you
it's
can go
costing
Feral
2.
Spirit and then Mogu Flesh Eater
Mogu,
cost 0 mana.
Evolve.
Yeah.
Do the Feral
Go
Spirits
on.
come out as freeze? Do they cost 3 when on board?
They cost 2.
2.
Crocs with Taunt. Obviously, while not being beasts. Ah. Okay. Do you go Feral Spirit into Mogu Evolve? That's still a 5 mana turn, because the Mogu would still cost 1 mana. So it's fine.
Isn't the Mogu going to cost
Proc
2
the
mana?
freezing trap while you can. Yeah, here we go. Feral Spirit, Mogu Flesh Shaper, and then Evolve. A Gilnean Royal Guard. That's a unique 8-drop. Haven't seen that one in a while.
It's not one you actually ever see.
And unfortunately, as much as I like this Gilnean Royal Guard, she is about to receive a deadly shot to the face, and Well, her face doesn't like a large arrow being pierced for it, so unfortunately she'll have to exit stage right.
Yeah, and there's more secrets coming down as well. Just have a quick look at what that new secret is.
I'd imagine I'm gonna take a bet here. Ah, production got to it first. It's a snipe. Ah, I was gonna take a random guess.
I believe that you
Oh,
thought it
well.
was snipe.
I was about to say it was gonna be rat trap actually before it showed up. So, yeah, whatever. It's fine. I have my fun.
See, you don't admit to being wrong though. You gotta own the fact that
I
you're
freely admit to being wrong. I'm wrong all the time. I think being wrong is part of the fun.
I mean, yeah, that's fair enough.
Coming in, you're right. That's just boring. You're saying like, oh, I totally knew that was gonna happen.
But it's not luck if you call it. So this isn't looking.
This is all the problem with these feral spirits in the shaman deck is that they're just not good cards.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, I mean, I was purely agreeing with you that they just don't really do anything, especially to justify how much they overload you for the next turn. Like, it's just a turn like that where you just play Feral Spirit. You don't feel good about that.
Yeah. This shaman deck has evolved over the past few days, excuse the pun, it's very interesting to me how it's changed. Like we've seen like one Spirit of the Frog sometimes, seen like Mana Tide Totem, Evil Totem, like all of these random cards in the deck. Like now I'm seeing people at the highest level say, why do we even need Lightning Bolt? Lightning Bolt, they're saying Lightning Bolt isn't necessary, it's crazy. Like now we're seeing like more streamlined versions, like double Spirit of the Frog, so you guarantee you get it on curve. We're seeing Stormbringer, it's like an extra way to get a big evolve right at the end. There's so many unique things, and like Feral Spirit, unfortunately, is not good enough to be part of this deck, and Cape Town is getting punished for it rather severely, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's Shaman has so many kind of like small little slots that you can kind of customize it to your particular playstyle. Obviously, some of that is just going to be better than others. Is a heal totem going to tank a rank shot? Is the big question here, though. Yes.
The answer is yes.
Yes, it is.
Not bad. Yeah. And we do see Zephyr's the Grey 8 picked up, which means that any white board the Shaman generates can be immediately answered, whether it be through Twisting Never or Shadow Flame. Of course, you'd rather like to avoid using Twisting Never with Zephyrs if possible, because it would mess up your Zul'jin turn a bit. Like you summon a large board and then it just gets Twisting Nevered. Like that wouldn't be nice.
No.
Mogu's evolving into a Kali the Rhino, which is not doing too good of a job beating Ragnaros, unfortunately.
There is just more stuff in the way as Ragnaros is going to be sticking around, probably just clearing for a while. I don't see any particularly easy ways. If the Akali survives, obviously they have the Lightning Bolt to follow it up onto the Rag.
What do you do with Zephyr's this turn? Because I'm pretty sure this is a Zephyr's turn.
Yeah.
Cabal Shadow Priest is probably going to be one of the cards. I'm curious what the other two will be. Oh, never mind. Signing against it. Just trying to get Siamat and then get Shadow of Death, I suppose. Okay. Shadow of Death, take out Akali. And then at the end of the turn, Ragnaros goes off. The board is mostly cleared.
It's entirely
there we go.
This is looking right. Yep. Okay.
Cape Town is looking... pack them up. Can't beat Ragnaros.
It's looking so rough for the Shaman that they're actually dead. So yeah, just the Ragnaros stick and I say is the heal totem going to tank a shot from the rank, but it gives one less target for that evolve, and it just keeps clearing the board. It doesn't need to touch the face. Everything else around it will hit face if it just keeps stopping them actually being able to develop anything onto the board. Come in. Helsinki one game away with this Highlander Hunter from taking the 3-0 sweep of it and getting themselves into the semi-final. And they're going up against Cape Town's Rogue, which is the one with the Heist Baron Togwaggle at the top, one Spirit of the Shark, a questing adventurer in there. Where are you standing on this matchup, Paradox?
I'd have to say it depends on what the opener is from the Hunter, right? How much they can resist the aggression. Oh, we do see Zephyrs picked up early, which is one of the better ways that like most Highlander decks can resist aggression. But it really depends on how much the Rogue can push, like before Hunter gets into their big swing turns, right? With like Ragnaros, we see there, Call of the Wild, Hyena Alpha, etc.
What would Zephyrs even give you in this position? I mean, you never play it, but I'm assuming a backstab.
Like
then,
what? Like if you just play it without the coin?
Yeah, backstab and then a stuff for next turn, like Animal Companion,
Animal
right?
Companion. I was about to say backstab, Animal Companion, and probably Brightwing. I'd say probably Brightwing.
Brightwing's a card.
Yeah, value card. Like usually Zephyrs is like, okay, I give you removal, a good play on curve, and then just a like a value card.
Yeah.
Good plays on curve. This Animal Companion or this String Crawl are definitely doing that. So we see the Animal Companion, and it does get the Misha, which I would definitely say is the best one for the situation.
Like you said, the Hunter here just wants to weather this storm. And right now,
at the moment,
yeah, the big taunt is the way to do it.
Curious. I don't think Helsinki will go for it, but I'm curious if Zephyrs in this position gives Flare.
Ooh.
And you can get rid of the Spirit of the Shark.
I mean, they're clearly thinking about Zephyrs this turn.
I think you go for it, because I don't think that AI is smart enough to give you Flare in this position.
If it
does, I'm curious if it does.
And if it does, that is insane. Because this is the only Spirit
It's insanely good for you. I agree.
Yeah.
I just don't know if the game is smart enough.
They clearly...
We're about to find out. They are about to do it. Let's see if it gets the Flare. Alright, Hearthstone.
No, it does
I knew
not.
you weren't smart enough. I knew the game wasn't smart enough for Flare. Aww.
If it had been, that was...
Had gotten Flare, which it should have, by the way, then that would have been insanely good.
Now.
I think Zephyrs like registers Flare with secrets. It's like, why should I pick this card? Because secrets don't play, rather than stealth minions are on the board. I think that's how Zephyrs registers it. It's just it's unfortunate that's the way it works.
So that's going to be a lot of lackeys coming the way of the...
It absolutely will.
The Rogue.
We've seen 4 lackeys, and their battle cries will of course go up twice. So yeah, like I guess we can say shout out to Zephyrs.
The Shark would die here. You have to assume.
Yeah, you just go Misha, right? Misha and the double sprinkle, And
then you just hit into the Shark.
But now this curve, by the way, this follow-up curve from the Hunter is insane, right? They have a Snake Trap Hyena Alpha, which is already good, into Bran, into Ragnaros, into Call of the Wild. With a sap gone as well, don't forget, so they can't sap Ragnaros or King Crush, so these cards are going to be impactful. Pressure can this Rogue truly put on in time?
Because at that point, even if you're putting on that kind of pressure, you're under a lot yourself. Do you even win that if you just like race that as a Rogue?
Racing is possible. King Crush on his own is already pushing 8 per turn if he's
Yeah.
not dealt with. Like that's death in 2 turns. Like even with this Life Drinker, that is death in 2 turns. Consider the Hyena Alpha is still here. It's still generating 7/7 in stats. Roll very, very quickly.
The Blight Nozzle isn't awful, actually. As an
The
evolve.
problem is the Blight Nozzle has to die.
But
And Akar's
Yeah.
not dying at the moment.
no, but it can hit into the Bran. Well, not the Bran, but into the
Crush, but yeah.
Crush and then kill it. Although,
The trade though, like they can kill
Yeah, exactly.
the 2/4
Yeah.
and the poison guy and
One.
then play Crush.
yeah, you're more than happy to sacrifice some of your smaller minions here just to ensure that your Crush is fine.
Exactly. So it's gonna be a toggle
If they go-
turn. See if they'll go for the trade with this. Oh no, they're not even gonna attack. Okay.
Well, they're scared of maybe.
But they've already they know it's not freezing trap, I'm pretty sure. Alright. In at present.
Yeah, I mean, the 8
Really
Always
rely
shift
on Ragnaros to
base
push
here,
the
right,
last
but
bit of
yeah.
damage.
Like that 8 always has
It's
to go into the face.
Yeah. Face. The question is where does the rest go? You're pushing another 7, so if I'm not mistaken, I believe that puts the rogue down to 9 HP?
9, yeah.
On his own, next turn wouldn't be lethal, even if it
No.
were face. You need at least a minion.
Now.
2/2 into Lackey then.
Job done.
Shadow step a bit.
Go on, sap the Bran. There
That sounds like a bad idea. I wouldn't recommend doing that. I guess you have to Wondrous One here and hope for the best.
Yeah, like, it's
No.
really your only option.
See, as I say, Kate Town do now see it as a snake trap, so they do have 2 more minions, so they have to deal with the stats, so yeah, it has to be
Yeah, 'cause-
a Wondrous Wand.
And they
It's like,
and the
backstab always Shadow Step.
at least they
So
cost
they got
0.
1 mana reduction off of that. It better have been worth it. Silence? No, I guess
No.
it's Haunting Visions. Can give you in this spot though. Besides, obviously enabling Vendetta.
Yeah. You have to use this Vendetta and then Haunting
Yeah, and you have
Visions
to
or
trade the
something.
Blight Nozzle into Crush, yeah, because it's the only way you
Kill it.
get the. Well, no, actually, no, that's not true because you can backstab your own Blight Nozzle. Wait. No,
Wait.
no, we don't stab. Wait, what?
Just sap the
Why are we sapping
Crush?
Crush? Why are we sapping Crush?
I'm very confused. I
That
don't think-
wasn't. No,
this
that
board is
wasn't
clear
the
at all.
play. We don't sap Crush.
I-
Now we're guaranteed. to
Unless this
die
is a
in
taunt.
turns.
That's not a taunt.
They are really banking on finishing this game like next turn. Because the rogue deck doesn't play taunts,
Yeah.
and Life Drinker's used already.
I mean, the
Snake
Ragnaros
for
is.
1. I like this a bit more. This is a more cautious approach with the.
Yeah, it's not
'cause
taking.
They know Crush is lethal on 9. Like, I'm slightly confused as to why they would sap
Sap
Crush,
the
but
Crush when
I'm
they had
sure they
the-
had a reason for it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. So how much damage are we looking at here? 3.
It's a card that can heal at this point. The only healing is going to come from Lackey RNG. That's the only way they survive at this point, and they know
Blink
it.
Fox into.
Or they roll Taunt Lackey. That's the
Blink
only
Fox into Master's Call. And. Yeah, there's too
Fox
much mana.
into Houndmaster, maybe. pots into Houndmaster. The 4-3 one, not Houndmaster Shore, of course.
Yes. Yeah, I don't think HouseRivalries Shore helps them in the slightest.
Unfortunately not.
And
They are
neither
at
does...
12, and there is no Leroy Shadow Step, so that's obviously not an out either.
Yeah, that much face damage currently also isn't particularly helping them.
Titanic lucky, got a roll again. Which is like one other out for Taunt. Trap as well from the Master Tender. I was right about Master Tender pulling a rat trap. I was just a little bit late on it.
Oh! Alright, now.
So, through the Iron Bark Protector. How much health the Henchman Burglar has with Taunt? How much health does it have? 4?
Yeah, I can't see over. My clean feed has gone a bit.
Yeah.
The
Okay,
Henchman Burglar's
so it was at
health.
4, and then Explosive Trap went off, so it'd be at 2. And then you buff it back up, so it'd be at 4.
4.
Means that Helsinki don't have lethal unless this Shimmerfly gets something magical. Let's find out.
Like a kill command. That's a snake.
It's not gonna do it.
Is this Iron Bark Protector gonna do it?
Iron Bark Protector. The rat clears. They're gonna go for Ragnaros.
Do it.
No, you don't go for Ragnaros. You play
I don't
Crush. You
think
play it safe.
that's ever sensible.
That plays it safe too. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that plays it safe too.
But imagine if they did
Yeah.
get the 1 in 8.
Oh boy. Yeah, if you go Ragnaros, that I would have been very surprised.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's the kind of thing where you pick it up and like, mate, I mean, we could. And then everyone on your team's like, no. No. put the Ragnaros down.
I believe the rogue is at 8 HP, or are they at 9 still? Important now with the life drinker. 7 or 12 HP. Drinker this turn, because they know that King Crush is almost certainly going to be lethal. Especially if they're at 8 HP. If they're at 8 HP, they have no choice. It's just outright lethal damage. Down, trade that, then you do that to the Leo, okay, yep. Wait, yeah, are they at 4? Looks like it's 4, but that can't be it, surely not. And King Crush is gonna finish it out. Helsinki are going to win the series 3-1. Wow.
Life Drink could put them to 7 anyway, so even with
Put them to 7? Ah, okay. Yeah,
Yeah, because
I
four
didn't
plus
see
3.
that at the end, unfortunately. Oh, well.
But it would have put them to 7, so even then they know that the
They were much lower than I
there.
thought they were. I thought they were at 9.
no, they
Oh,
were
my
at
bad.
4. So
Yeah, they were at 4. Life Drinker wouldn't have done anything then.
Yeah, no amount of Life Drinker healing would have saved them. Therefore, Helsinki gonna take 3 in a row with the Highlander Hunter. Take themselves on to the semi-finals tomorrow against the Madrid Mages. The other semi-final there obviously being the Brussels Brawlers versus the Lisbon Lycanthropes. We saw the Lisbon take a game earlier. Commiserations to London and Cape Town. Did very well to get through to the quarterfinals, and hopefully we'll see those players competing in House Rivalries events in the future.
Absolutely.
For the time being, however, I have been Omni Toaster. I've been joined by Paradox. Make sure you join House Rivalries tomorrow for the Brussels Brawlers versus the Lisbon Lycanthropes and the Madrid Mages versus the Cape Town Champions. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.